Hello, and welcome to the resort episode of the All Red Berry Speedrun tutorial series, brought to you by Xenoras, TN98, and me, profnyan. In this video, we'll be going over the strats needed to complete Resort Arb quickly and consistently. Since City and Site are pretty short levels, their tutorials were short to match, but Resort is going to be a decent bit longer here, since not only will we have to deal with both cycles and death cycles for a lot of rooms, we'll also need to take a different route in the huge mess checkpoint, which means little bits and pieces of terrain aren't going to be in the same places as you would see them in any percent, and because the rooms are slightly different, we'll be covering strats for those as well. That said though, let's get right into Resort. In the very beginning here, you'll want to hyper bunny hop and dash upright, and then climb jump to get yourself on this first bit of roof here. And then we'll go for a hyper through the transition with jump held, so that we can dash upright to the next roof over here now. From here, you want to go for a hyper bunny hop, and then an up dash to climb up onto this bit. If you find the hyper bunny hop a little bit difficult though, you can just walk forward to this little bit of snow, and do an extended super from there into an up dash up to here. Once you get up here though, you'll just hop onto the bit of stone here, and then do a super through the transition to grab this bit of wall. And once you're here, you can climb jump to the berry and then dash left. Once you've dashed left here, the rest of this room is going to be cycle based with the death bunnies down below, so you'll want to be a little bit quicker here if you can. But what we'll want to do here is we'll fast fall to the ground below us, then extended hyper and wave dash off that next bit of ice down below there, and then dash down through the gap. Now, for the next gap here, you want to be landing a little bit on the left side more so than the right, because you have to do a hyper bunny hop up here, and if you're too far to the right, it'll be too difficult to get the hyper bunny hop over those dust bunnies, since you're wanting to bunny hop off the very edge over here. Personally, what I use to line up is when I fall, I want to be just about on that near that left tip of roof and fall kind of below that. And that makes it pretty easy for me to go for the hyper bunny hop here. But you'll hyper bunny hop to the next berry here, then neutral off the wall once you've touched it, then just dash up to this chunk of wall, and then do a climb jump off of it and off of here to get yourself up to here. Now let's jump ahead to where our berry strats continue. From here, after you've rung the bell, the 80% strats typically collect the berry in this next room, but just in case you do not have a strat that does that quite yet, we will be covering that faster version I just showed you there, as well as an easier version to get the berry. So the way that this strat works, this faster ultras version here, is from the table here, you'll go for an extended hyper and then a wave dash through the transition, with an immediate climb jump off of this box after the transition. And that climb jump should set you up to go for an extended super off the first floating platform of the room there. Which will get you up here, lined up to go for a wave dash into an ultra down to the books platform down below here. So you'll wave dash an ultra off the books down below here, and just about here, once your head has gotten around to the right side of that chest block above you, you should be in a good position to go for your down right to the final floating platform here. And if you time your jumps well, you can get ultras off of both of these, both of the floating platform here, and through the transition. They won't give you a lot of speed, but they will give you the height you'll want to look for here, going into the final room, or the next room rather. So for the next room strat here, after getting either a wave dash or an ultra in, you'll kick off of the right wall, then the left, to quickly go for a demo hyper off the talus block here. And then after that demo hyper, you'll fall a little bit and demo right to grab this section of wall here, and then just do some climb jumps to get you up to this platform here. Now there is a much easier alternative than that ultras section if you're having trouble, so let's go back. For the alternative strat in the room up ahead here, it's the same start with an extended hyper, except we'll be doing a neutral super through the transition. So what that means is we'll dash right through the transition, then hold jump after, just don't hold any direction until you do your upright dash. So the neutral super, then an upright dash to land here on the first platform, which you can then go for a hyper bunny hop, or sorry, not hyper, a super bunny hop off of the next one. So a quick super off this block to the next, then a bunny hop. Then you want to fast fall down right to the point where you can then wave dash off the books block down below, right dash through the berry, and then that'll get you to the last platform over here, which you can then hyper bunny hop off of through the transition. After that, you can go for the same exit, where you do these wall kicks into either a wave dash or a demo hyper off this towels block, and then a demo under this chunk of wall here to get yourself over to here and climbing up. From here now, you'll want to wall bounce up through the transition, and then go for a wave dash with a crouched bunny hop through the next. And the reason we're doing a crouched bunny hop is to make sure our head clears this bit of ceiling, getting ourselves over to the books. From the books now, you can jump straight up and go for a quick wave dash into down left, which kind of ultra slides you over to the spring there. But if that causes you any trouble, you can just jump over the top of it and dash down left to the platform and left to the spring. Now for these next couple walls, if you are grabbing onto them the entire time, they take a very long time to fall, as you can kind of see here. So instead of just waiting for each to fall one by one like that, we're going to be climb jumping over the top of them so that they fall a lot more quickly, because they'll fall more quickly if you're not in contact with them, like this. So yeah, just grab them, make sure not to buffer your jumps so that you can still activate them, and then just dash past them after you've made them fall. Heading into the next room here, there's an interesting entry strat where you get a corner kick right here by demoing under the block back there. So, or under the wall here, and the way that works is you'll just fall to the left till you're flush with the wall, and then demo under it when your feet just about pass it, because that's about like your visual cue of when you can demo under. And then on the other side, you'll just time a kick off the corner for when you're passing the corner over here. After the corner kick, you'll do a little climb jump onto the boxes, and then a wave dash off the top of them there. So climb jump on, wave dash off the top. And then you can hop over to the left side of the crumble blocks here and do an extended super off of them and an up dash to break the wall up here. Alternatively, for the strat for this room here, what you can do is you can be going for a just left dash, up left, and then an extended hyper off the top of the block. From here now, you can just climb jump up through the transition and then neutral off the wall to the point where you're aligned with the platform there, and then you can go for a reverse super, and if you time it right, you can even collect the berry there. But after the reverse super, you're going to do 4 climb jumps, and make sure that you're getting the optimal height out of the climb jumps here, or else you might be too low and die to the dust bunnies. But after getting over to here, you can just do a little hop and then a down left dash through the transition here. From here now, you can just go for a hyper through the transition, and then an up left dash on the first dash crystal, a left at the next, and then another left dash to get you on the platform here. The only real hazard of this room is going too low and then hitting that dust bunny, so just make sure to kind of space out your dashes so that you go all the way over the top of it and land here. From here now, you can do another hyper through the transition, and then a bunny hop to make sure that you go through the berry, then just 2 wave dashes to send you back out the way you came. Then you'll dash down to the crumble blocks on the way back here, then hop off of them to make them disappear quicker, and then just dash down through the little gap here. And then here you're just doing a lot of wave dashes to try and be as quick as possible. This next room though, you can go for a wall bounce there with the right spacing on your wave dashes to get you all the way over these books at the end here. It isn't too necessary though. If you find yourself having any trouble with that, it is fine to just kind of climb over the top and then get to here where you can then hyper through the transition. From here, we'll extended hyper through the transition, then wall bounce off that left wall, and climb jump over the top of this first dust bunny here. And after that, you should be getting to your normal 80% cycle for how to get the key. But from the key door here, we're going to have to change the next room strat a little bit. The start's exactly the same, but when you get here, you want to be standing at about the left side of this clutter you see on the background of this platform. then do a left dash and an up dash to get yourself up to this next platform up here. You don't want to do the up dash too early though, because that'll get you to hit the dust bunnies. So delay it a little bit so that you can get to the middle of the platform here. Or off to the left here, actually would be ideal, because you want to get an extended hyper off this platform now. So extended hyper, and then 2 climb jumps over the top, and an up left dash to either this wall, or to aim for a corner kick off that corner. But either way, you'll get yourself up to the wall up here then. Heading into this next room, we can do a transition wall bounce here, and then an upright dash to barely get to the berry without touching the dust bunnies. So we want that to be a full height wall bounce where we're holding upright pretty much the whole time, so that we can then immediately do our upright dash there. And you're dashing just about right before you hit the dust bunnies. Once you get to that wall, you can do 4 quick climb jumps, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then jump to the dash crystal and dash left back over to here. If you happen to die going for this berry, it is a little bit faster to go for this instead of resetting the wall bounce, but it's not too necessary to learn. That's up to you. From here now, you can just walk off the edge, dash down, then hyper to a Shiro. This next room here is an any percent room, so just use your normal strat. But when we get to the end here, we want to do a transition super so that we can get some extra height to jump over this first wall immediately. And then we have a couple options to get this next berry, first of which is that demo. To get this demo, you want to be jumping pretty high off that upper wall there near the end, and then demoing under pretty close to the top of the wall there to make sure that you touch the berry. If that's proving a little too difficult though, you can just jump over the top and kick off the other side, then dash up right to the berry like that. From here now, you can just collect the berry and use whatever your normal any percent strats are to get yourself up to here. And then when you're on the ledge up here, you can go for a super through the transition, then another super off that first platform, and a down dash onto the second one here to kill your momentum. Then you want to wait for this dust bunny on my side that's just coming up on my left there to get out of my way before walking off to touch the berry. Then we'll climb jump and dash up to land on the right side of this next platform here. You want to be on the right side of the platform here, so you can go for an extended super here, then 1 climb jump on the left wall. So extended super, 1 climb jump on the left wall, then a dash up through the transition, so we can do this transition wall bounce here, getting us all the way up to the next berry route pretty much immediately. From here now, you can hyper through the transition, and then just walk off the edge so you fall through this gap. Then, as you're about to touch these dust bunnies beneath me right here, you can dash left, and then fast fall down left along that left wall. From here now, we'll do a down right dash along the platform so that we slide off it and get our dash back, then immediately pull back to the left and dash left to the berry. With the berry, we'll extend it super, and then do another extended super off the next crumble blocks, then 2 climb jumps and a wall bounce up to here. And from here, we'll jump to the right and then dash up through this gap, going for either a wall bounce with a bit of a late jump, because if you jump too early, you'll just hit the dust bunny immediately on the wall bounce, or you can just dash up to it and climb jump up. But either way, when you get up to the platform up above here, we'll do a death warp back to the spawn over here. From here now, we'll hyper through the transition, and we just gotta do these couple of jumps to get up to the berry. If you get the right spacing though, you can dash left to the berry, then immediately pull back right to land on this platform. And you want to land on the left of this platform, so you can go for this extended hyper, and you want to try and aim for this upright dash into corner boost, but it isn't too necessary. It just makes it so that you can land all the way over here pretty much immediately. Heading down below here, there's a funny little mechanic we can take advantage of, where when you dash down into these normally, you get launched pretty high, but if you're standing on top of it and you dash down into it and you tap jump the instant after your dash goes through, you'll jump off of the ground that isn't really there anymore and get a tiny jump, so you can just start falling through immediately here. Kind of like this. So we'll do that, and then you get a couple strats for the actual room itself. The first of which looks like that, but is a little bit harder. It's just a wave dash into a demo hyper where you're barely grabbing the berry. The only issue is if you demo hyper too late, then you end up getting hit by the dust bunny on the ceiling sometimes. So you just have to be careful about that. Alternatively, you can wave dash and then grab the berry and pretty much wave dash back with it off the same little platform there. Either way though, you'll try and dash up out of the room as soon as possible here, and then you can just extended hyper through to the next room here. But that's all for start checkpoint here, so let's just skip ahead to the huge mess routing over here with Mr. Oshiro. Alright, from here now, after you've talked to Mr. Oshiro, this is where the routing is going to start to feel a bit different for all red berries than you would see in any percent. Because we'll be going towels first instead of chests first. Okay, so from here you can go for an extended super and do an immediate upright dash. Sometimes you'll get corner glided over the top here, but not always. Either way though, you're gonna get up top there and then fall down to the side here to land on this purple bit of towels. And from here you can go for a reverse hyper into a right demo to immediately grab the side of the books here and climb up onto this platform. And then from here, you can go for a wall bounce off of this chunk of wall here to land you on this next platform right before the transition. Then you can do a full height hyper and a demo through those dust bunnies to save a little bit of time. But if the demo isn't comfortable for you, you can just do an upright dash instead. It's not too much slower. But then just quickly hyper over to Theo and skip the cutscene here. So after skipping the cutscene here, you can just hop up, dash upright, and then do a little climb jump onto this ledge. Then entering the next room, you'll dash right and then jump after the transition to get a super. And then you'll just be doing wave dashes off the raised platforms in the middle of the room, and then a third wave dash at the very end to get yourself through the transition here. So just 3 wave dashes in a row like that. The death cycle for this room looks a little funny, but it's not too bad. It's just a quick super onto the books at the beginning, then a very short hyper to the middle, and a longer hyper to the end. And then after that, finally another hyper through the transition to get yourself over to here. Now for the entry cycle for this room, after your hyper or wave dash in, you'll immediately hop up onto the first platform, then super to the middle of the dust bunny platforms there, so that you can do a hyper bunny hop to the berry with a down left dash to get over here. So again, that's going to be after the hyper in, hop up, super, hyper bunny hop, then down left with the berry to get over to here. And from here now, you can do just a little hop up and a left dash to skim over the top of the talus block here into a very short wave dash to send you through the next transition. Now the death cycle for this room up here is just a wave dash off the first platform and then a down left with a berry, and you can exit in the same way over here. After entering this room, on the left side of the transition up here, you want to buffer a down left dash to slide along the talus platform, and after you've slid off of it, you'll do another down left dash to pass the dust bunny here. You want to make sure to do the second down left after you've slid off the talus platform though, because if you buffer it, you'll just end up going straight into the dust bunny. So make sure you've already slid off the platform before the second down left here. And once you get down below there, you can fast fall down to here, and from there you'll go for a reverse super into another extended super off of the platform with the dust bunny on it, and then an up dash through the gap and a kick off of the left wall to land up here, so you can just dash right and down through the transition. Now the death cycle for this room, you'll just dash right immediately, and then you want to demo right under this spot here to make sure you're not bonking and not making it out. So dash left, then demo right immediately, and then you can kind of exit the room in the same way with that extended super and a similar exit there. Now for this room, immediately after the transition, you'll dash down left to slide along the platform and get your dash back, and then dash right through the gap here. Once you're over here, you can fast fall to the ground, then extended super to the left wall, and then wall bounce off of it and kick off the right wall to get on top of the pillar of towels here. Once you're on top of the pillar, you'll walk off to the left, then dash left through the berry, and then after you've grabbed the berry, you can just do 4 climb jumps to get up to the top of the pillar with it. And once you're up top here, you'll just do a little hop to the left and then a down dash when the dust bunnies here are out of your way. And you can land on this platform here, and you'll want to do a coyote super to enter the next room here, because it sets up for you to do another super off of this wooden platform, like this, and then immediately hit the button. There isn't really a good death cycle for this room here. You kind of just have to wait in a couple places, but this would be what it would look like, preferably, for the death cycle there. Entering the next room here, you'll go for a coyote super into an extended super off that first wooden platform, then you can dash down into the button here. Now this is the part where we're going to have to go backwards to collect the heart. So to do that, we're going to go about on the right side of the button here, and then do an extended super off of this little bit straight from the button, then an up dash through the waterfall here, and then a wall bounce off the left wall here to get us up on the right side, going up through the transition. Now, Bub's ARB guide does have a more advanced strat for this next room that saves a decent chunk of time by beating the dust bunny, but that's pretty darn hard. So if you want that, you can check out the ARB guide linked below in the description, but we're not going to teach that here. Instead, what we recommend you do here is you just climb jump on the right side after the transition here, then right dash, up dash after this transition, then you can just wait for that dust bunny to get out of your way, then climb up after it. So dash up, climb here, climb up after it's gone, and then dash right over to the platform over here. Now the timing on the strat for this next room here is pretty difficult, so you should probably put a decent bit of practice into it. But what the strat is an upright dash there, a wave dash here, then a quick super to the books, and another super to the end of the room. And then entering the transition at the end here, you'll actually want to walk through it because of the strat for the next room up ahead here. Now again, after walking through the transition for this next room, you'll go for an immediate extended super, so you'll buffer the dash for that through the transition. And as long as you get a super, you'll make it through these dust bunnies every time if you hold jump and do that extended super. Then after that, you can just do 2 wave dashes to get through the room and up towards the heart route up here. Now the death cycle for this room is kind of funky looking, but that's what it is right there. And to explain that, what you're doing is you're doing a downlift dash at the start, but you don't want a hyper. You want to jump late enough that you don't get a hyper on purpose. And then you can do wave dashes off of the other 2 platforms there. Then you'll just, after the wave dash out of the room, dash up left and kick off the wall to get up here. From here now, we'll extend it super and then dash up through the transition, then dash left over the boxes here to get a dash reset. And immediately after that, we'll do 2 wave dashes and then an up left over the books at the end here, then walk out through this transition. But we want to immediately jump back up through the transition because the game doesn't think we're supposed to be able to do this. And what that does is it actually sets our spawn point to the nearest spawn, which is at the top of the screen there in the book section. So that'll be something that we'll take advantage of right after collecting the heart here. So to collect the heart, after kicking back up here, you'll dash right, wave dash, and then up right through the heart right there. Then the instant the heart text pops up, you can pause and save and quit. Now, once you resume from your file, you'll be on the top side here. Just a quick note that returning to the game from a save and quit puts you on the same cycle as the death cycle for a room, so we only have to learn 1 cycle for this room here. Okay, so what the cycle is going to be is immediately upon respawning, you'll go for a reverse hyper and do a down right to the middle of the room, and then once you're there, you want to slide along the floor for a little while, and then do a jump and an upright dash to get up here. The reason we're sliding along the floor for a little bit is to delay just a split second, because if you jump just a little bit too quickly, there's a chance of you hitting the dust bunny like that. So reverse hyper, then delay your jump on the floor just a little bit, and then do an upright to get yourself up to the ledge up here. From here now, you'll dash down right through the transition and jump after to get a hyper, then you'll jump again for a bunny hop there. And then after that, you'll fast fall down the right side of the berry path over here, and once you've touched the berry, you'll immediately dash up left to the wall there, then do 3 neutrals and a climb jump over the corner to get back up top. So, just like that. If you're finding the up left dash to be a little bit too difficult though, it is okay to dash left with the berry instead, and then neutral around the dust bunny as it's coming down to you. Then it's just a couple climb jumps, a neutral, and the same climb jump to get yourself up to here. From here now, the next room is a little different from any percent because the chests will be there, but the towels won't. So for the entry, we'll do an extended hyper into an up dash along the left wall, so we can transition wall bounce there. And then we'll do another wall bounce immediately after that on the side of the books there. Then you can just walk off the edge here, do a little hop and another short wall bounce off of these books, and then walk off, and then finally do a wall bounce off the right side there and a climb jump to get up top here now. From here, you'll do an extended hyper and then a corner boost off of the little thing of books here, like that, and then just a couple wave dashes to get you through the next transition over to here. From here now, we'll typically be entering this room with some hyperspeed, and we'll do a wave dash immediately on entry. Then you can fastball along that left wall and kick off of it over to here. Then here you'll just climb jump over to the berry, and usually you only need a couple more climb jumps to get back over to the dash crystal. And if you line up your dashes right here, you can dash left with this dash crystal, then wall bounce up through the next one to do an up left dash over the dust bunnies here. Then you'll fast fall down right to that wall and then kick off of it over to here, where you can just do a quick hyper bunny hop through the transition, a climb jump, and then just an extended hyper and a down dash into the button here. From here now, use whatever your normal strat is to get down to talk to Oshiro, and after you've talked to him here, you'll want to down left dash off the platform, then down right dash back into it, so that you can immediately start fast falling over to here to land about on the left-ish side of the platform down here. And once we're here, we'll do a really quick hop into a left dash over the bit of boxes right here so that we can get our dash back. And then we'll do a reverse wave dash into an ultra down here. Doing it at that spot can be a little bit more difficult because if you're too late, you end up face planting on that box. So it's also fine to just do it a little bit lower down, like around here. That's a lot more lenient, whichever your preference is. So this next room is exactly the same as any percent. You can just use your normal strat for that. However, for this room here, we want to be trying to go for a cycle skip to head onto the right side towards the berry. So the way we set up for that here is we need to go for an immediate full height wave dash, and then fast fall down left into the corner over here. And then as soon as you've landed here, you'll go for an extended hyper. And the point of this again is to set up to extended hyper past this dust bunny the instant it goes up. But yeah, then you'll extended hyper to the right here, and then you'll have to demo under these boxes I'm pressed up against here over to the other side, like that. And then do a very quick climb jump up onto that platform there, then a left dash off of it, and then an immediate right and down right dash from there to get yourself over to here. Immediately after landing here, you'll dash right through the transition and then buffer a down right dash so you can get an extended hyper to get you all the way to that first wall here. And once you're on the wall, you'll do a couple quick climb jumps and a wave dash off of that platform. If you didn't get an extension heading over to the first wall here, like this, it's okay to just hop up to the very left side of this platform and go for an extended hyper off of it, but you have to be on the very left for that to work. But after getting onto the platform here, either going for a wave dash or extended hyper off of it, you'll try and wall bounce off of the wall to the left of the berry to get yourself straight up to the berry, and then you can fast fall down to the platform below it over here. From here now, we'll just do a hyper bunny hop and a high climb jump over the dust bunnies there, like the little dust bunny flooring that we popped up already, so that we can then down left over to here. And from here, we'll hop up and then just do a left dash through the transition, then another left dash and a down left through the next. And that should collect the berry for you and get you into the next room down below there. Heading into the next room on the left side of the transition, you'll just dash down left and then do some left dashes, preferably over the tops of this lower row of dash crystals. You want to go along the tops of them, because if you're along the bottom, there's a chance you'll hit this dust bunny here at the very end. From here you can just do whatever your normal spike jump setup is to get up to here. And from here, we're going to be dashing up through the left side of the transition up here. So we can do an immediate climb jump after the transition into a wall bounce off that wall to get us up to this platform. And once we've gotten on top of the platform here, we have a setup for a corner kick. And the way we set up for this is we'll dash left till we come into contact with this wall here, fall straight down, and then no matter like what angle you take almost, you can always get a corner kick off of the corner here with an up left dash. So you'll get the corner kick there, and then neutral off of the left wall to grab the berry there. Make sure it's a neutral though, because if you do a wall kick, you can wind up hitting that dust bunny. So neutral, then you can fall back down with the berry, hop over here, and do a wall bounce off the bottom of that wall to get over here towards the exit. Now, the death cycle for this room is pretty much the same. You just have to wait out the dust bunny cycles there a little bit to ensure that you can actually go for the corner kick. So this is the way I like to do it, where I just wait to make sure the corner kick will be safe. Then I just grab the berry, and you can head up towards the exit now to hit the button. From here, you can do a little hop, a wave dash, and then a wall bounce off the left wall there. And then a climb jump after the transition into an up dash and a climb jump to get you on top of this platform here. Then you can hit the spring here and dash up to get the key here. Then you can do a super from here to this platform, a hop, and an up left dash, aiming to try and get a corner boost there to hit the spring. But the instant the key goes in the door here, we're actually going to dash down left and head down over to here. Oh, pardon the Oshiro cutscene. But we're going to head down over to here, because from here we'll be going for a berry down below. So to get to the berry under the bridge, we'll do a short hyper from here, then a little hop and a down left dash to get us having a lot of speed here. Then we'll dash down and wiggle a little bit to the right with our fall to grab the berry. After we've touched the berry, we can do a hyper over to here, and then just some wave dashes, then a wall bounce, a wall kick off the left wall over to here, and just climb jumps up through the transition. Then heading back up, you can dash up immediately, do a little climb jump up to here, another dash up and climb jump. Then you can dash left into the spring and do the same thing up here, and dash left into the spring again. And from here, if you're quick enough, you can do a little reverse super, or not reverse super, sorry, extended super here into the cutscene skip to then immediately dash up through the transition here into elevator shaft. So yeah, that was all of Huge Mess Arb, so we'll just skip ahead to the first berry in shaft here now. Alright, so heading into the first berry room of elevator shaft here, you can just use your normal 80% movement. And you can do that pretty much the whole time. It's just the only thing you have to change is that on this platform, you want to land on the right side of it at first. So you can do that the way that I showed, where you do a little wall bounce off that wall and then climb jump up to here. or you can take it a lot safer and go platform by platform, whichever works for you. You just need to get on the right side here, so you can jump to the berry and dash back left to the left side of this platform. After that, you can just do your normal 80% exit to grab the berry and then get out of the room. Alright, let's jump ahead to where berry strats will continue with routing here. Alright, so after skipping the Oshiro cutscene here, what you're going to do is you'll immediately dash right and then down through this transition. Then we got a cycle to worry about in this room, and the way this is going to go is you'll dash down left immediately, then jump and do a wall bounce off there, off the little wall just below the dust bunnies. So off that wall bounce. Then you can walk over the edge on the top there, and just fall down to here where you can wave dash through the transition, and then dash down right into the gap over here. So immediately upon entering this room, you want to death warp to the middle platform here, and the fastest strat where you get both berries at the same time is going to look like this. That can be pretty difficult though, so thankfully you have other options that are safer. I will be explaining all of them though. So for the fastest version right here, immediately after the death warp, you'll do a couple climb jumps on that wall just to the left of you, kick off of it, and then dash right to the dash crystal. Just like this. Then after you touch the dash crystal, you want to drift left to touch the berry, and then wall bounce off the left side of the floating chunk of wall just above the berry there. Then you need to fast fall down over to here, and from here we'll immediately oh yeah, by the way, you need to land on the right side of this platform down here. But from here, you'll immediately jump left, then do an up dash and a neutral. So you want that jump to be nice and late to make sure you don't get a wall bounce. So late jump to get a neutral, and then take that down to fall back to this platform here, where you can then wall bounce up high from there and fall down to land on this platform with both the berries. Now again, this is the hardest option, but you thankfully have safer alternatives, like this strat here, with the same start, except you'll instead dash right to grab the berry here, or dash left through the berry, and climb up to then collect it here, where the strat after it, to try and get the next berry as fast as possible, is going to look like this. Oops, didn't quite get that right. But you'll collect the berry, then jump up over there, and dash down to this platform here. And again, you want to be on the right side of it, but the difference now is that dust bunny's on the right side of the final berry area. So we have to jump left and then dash up left and neutral off the wall, then fall back down to here. After landing here, we'll jump to the right wall, climb jump over, and then dash down through the gap to collect the left berry there. Now, if you wind up in a position where only the left berry is there, immediately after respawn, your strat is going to look like this. It's pretty much the same as you would on the somewhat easier cycle to get both berries, where you climb jump here and then have to do the up left. So, not too bad to get just the left berry on its own, but after that, you'll walk off the edge here, dash down, then you can extended hyper, wall bounce, and climb jump up to here, and then dash up through the transition here. So immediately after dashing up through this transition here, you can go for a wave dash bunny hop through to the next screen, and then a wall bounce off the middle pillar here, and a quick wall kick off the right wall to land on the top of the pillar. As soon as you land here, you can walk off the right edge and fast fall down right to the platform down below there. And when you land here, you want to go for an extended super, and then a wall kick off the right wall, then dash up to the berry, and getting around this dust bunny here to like beat the dust bunny cycle is pretty difficult. So you kind of have to judge if you make that cycle or not. If you don't, you can just grab the wall here for a second, and then do the wall bounce exit after the dust bunny's moved out of your way there. But then from here, up above we just have the demo to go, And that's all of the berries for elevator shaft here. So we're actually just going to skip ahead now to the next berry in Presidential Suite. So for the first berry of Presidential Suite here, there are a couple of berry strats you can go for. One much harder than the other. And the harder one is going to look like this, where you cut really close on the end cycle there with Oshiro. So the way the harder strat works here is you go for the normal 2 hypers into 1 bunny hop, but you gotta take it to control you to land on the spring there. And then after bouncing off the spring, you have to go left and kick off of the wall here into an immediate reverse super to go through the switch and then dash up and over the dust bunnies there to get to the berry. Then you follow it up with fast falling, a couple hypers there to the spring, then you just hit the last couple switches and get out. Now the much more sensible and easier cycle, instead of going for the hypers, you'll go for 2 right dashes here, then just jump around, do 2 climb jumps here, and then dash right over to here, then hop up onto this next platform. Oh, pardon the Oshiro sounds being weird, but you'll hop onto the next platform here, and then from the far left of it, do an extended super. That should get you the switch there and allow you to dash over the top. And then the ending here is a lot safer after that. So let's skip ahead again now to the final room, or well, I guess the room before the final room, to show the final room cycle. Now heading into the final room of Resort here, this is a really long room that's going to be pretty difficult to have a consistent cycle with. So hopefully the cycle that I'm intending to teach here can be pretty consistent for you. So I'm just going to try and give an example of it first, and then talk about it. Gonna be a little bit slow here, I think. Oh, no, we made it. Okay. Alright, so the cycle there is from the very beginning here, or well, I guess after the transition, you do 2 wave dashes, 1 off of the very start, and then 1 off of the ice chunk there beneath the dust bunny. Then you'll do a quick hyper off of this platform, and then a down dash onto the ground here to cancel your sliding momentum. Like this. And then you'll hop to the side there, and do a wall bounce up to the berry. And if you want, after that, you can stop very briefly to collect the berry. Just be mindful that that does make the cycle a little bit harder to hit for the rest of the room. But after that, the next bit from there is going to be a hyper bunny hop and a right dash to hit the spring here. Then from here, you'll drift to the right, and then dash right to land on this next ice pillar here, after the dust bunny's out of your way. Then from there, you're going to do a hyper with some coyote distance to get you all the way to this platform over here. Then you'll bunny hop and dash up left, or up right rather, to the next platform, and then do another jump and upright dash up to this platform. So, coyote hyper, jump upright. And once you're up here, you can hop off, and then fast fall down to the berry, dash right into it, or just walk off. Either works just fine. Then you want to do 2 climb jumps and climb up onto the left side of this platform here. You don't want to be too far right, because we're about to do a short hyper, and we don't want to hit these dust bunnies here. So hyper over the top of them, and then do a bunny hop and an upright over these next couple dust bunnies. Then from here, you want to fast fall and land on this patch of snow down here, so that you can then go for a hyper bunny hop from there, and then a wave dash off the next platform, and an upright to this platform. Just like this. And then you can jump and do another upright up to here. And then from here, it's just a couple hypers to get out of the room. Now for the death cycle for the final room here, I'll show it first and then explain it after. The one thing that's nice about the death cycle here, at the very least, is that you have time to collect both berries. Okay, so that was the death cycle, and to explain that, from the very beginning here, you'll be going for a hyper bunny hop into a demo hyper off the second little ice pillar there, the second dust bunny ice pillar. Then that has to be a very short jump demo hyper so that you can then bunny hop off of the first part of the platform here before the floor dust bunnies. And then you'll dash down onto the ground here to kill your momentum. From here you'll immediately jump up left so you can wall bounce off that wall. And then when you're going for this berry, you can either wall bounce straight up through it, or you can do a quick little climb jump over the little floating platform there. Because if you do that little climb jump, you're pretty much guaranteeing you'll grab the berry safely. Then you can fast fall back down to here, and you have enough time to collect the berry before going for your hyper bunny hop and right dash into the spring. And then from there, after collecting the berry, you want to get an extended hyper off of that platform, the first of those two dust bunny platforms here, so that you can get that hyper all the way to this platform. Nope, that was cutting it a little bit too tight. But then you'll just do a jump and upright, and then another jump and upright up to here, where you can walk off, then dash right through this berry and do two quick climb jumps to get up on the platform here. And here you have enough time to collect the berry. After you collect it, you can do a hyper from the very left of this platform over the dust bunnies, then a very quick hop and upright over these dust bunnies, where you'll fall down to this patch of snow, then do a little hyper bunny hop, and then a wave dash and upright to this platform here. So hyper bunny hop, wave dash, upright, then another jump and upright up to here. And from here you can just do a hyper off the edge to this icy platform. And if the dust bunny is out of your way, you can just do another hyper immediately after, bunny hop off of the last platform there, and then either wave dash or dash right through the transition to the end here. And that was all of Resort Arb. A decent goal time for Resort in full runs would be somewhere around less than 8 minutes, but if you're really trying to grind out Resort as an individual level, you could even go for a time below 7 minutes, but that'll require you to be pretty well practiced with your 80% strats in this chapter on top of the ARB strats that were shown here, especially in Elevator Shaft and Presidential Suite, where there are so many rooms without berries. But that's all for Resort Arb, so thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode in Golden Ridge.